Well, hello everyone. My name is Troy. I am doing this kind of an answer to or continuation of a video interview that I did with Miss Diamond Styles called Ask a Trans Attracted Man. I had a lot of people, either on Facebook or some other social media, kind of field some questions or wanted to me expand upon a number of things that we talked about in the video. So I want to take this opportunity to answer some of those questions. Thank you, everybody in the T-Spot for fielding your questions. I'm going to get to some of them. This is probably going to take me about 2 or 3 parts to do because I've never uploaded anything to YouTube before. And from what I understand, I can only do a 10-minute video. So let me get right into it. Okay. Oh, and I want to thank Miss Diamond Styles for definitely giving me the opportunity to do that interview and to answer those questions and to kind of start this ball rolling to change the conversation that's out there about men and trans attracted men and the ladies we're attracted to. So we're gonna go like straight off the cuff. I just wrote down the questions and I'm gonna read them and answer them right off the top of my head. Okay. The first question, does a trans attracted man see a trans woman as a potential for a long-term relationship? Well, that depends on the man. I myself am looking for a long-term relationship. I was in a multi-year relationship for about 8 years with a trans woman. My life was fully open. My parents and her parents, got along, knew each other. In fact, they still get along and hang out. She helped raise my youngest son. I have an older son who's grown, who she was a part of his life as well. So, yes, there are some men who will definitely do that. The flip side of that coin is there's a lot of men who know that trans women are more or less desperate or longing for that type of a relationship, and they will take advantage of that. Or there are some guys who are just in it for the ride, and some of you ladies allow them to take that ride. You have to change how these men are doing these things and why they're doing these things. If the opportunity wasn't there, a man is going to be a man. He'll definitely do that. But again, to answer that question, well, yes, I do believe that there are some men who are trans attracted, who are comfortable in who they are and not worried about society and those other things. They will be ready for a long-term relationship. Okay. That was question number 1. Question number 2. I like this question a lot. I have to find it. But how do you address the social interaction with non-trans or cisgendered women? Meaning, once they find out that I am trans attracted, how do I handle that conversation? Well, first and foremost, if they're not an intimate friend of mine, they really won't know that business. I like what I like, and there's no shame in my game. I prefer trans women. I've dated trans women exclusively for the better part of a decade. So, again, the social interaction, I'm really not worried about what a woman says or what a woman thinks who just happens to be not trans. She's not what I'm chasing after anyway, so I don't see why it would matter to me in my life. The second part of this question is, how do you respond to your male peers if they find out your woman or your mate is a trans woman? Well, a lot of my friends know or knew and know that I'm trans attracted and they knew my girlfriend. Again, she was part of all of my family functions and things of that nature. For me, if you're confident in what you do, and you have no shame, then really no one's going to really say anything to you. Maybe it's because of who I am and my physicality and the type of friends that I'm around. That may make a difference on what and how they interact with me. But my friends, I only had one friend really make a comment negatively about me being with a trans woman because of my ex-wife and what she said to his wife, and he came back a couple weeks later and apologized and we're still very, very good friends, and it's never been an issue. So um, that is question number 2. Question number 3. We will go with, why does it appear easier for a man to come out as gay versus a man coming out as trans attracted? Well, fear dominates what a lot of trans attracted men do. The fear of being ostracized from their families. That's the same with gay men or lesbian people or even trans women. That fear of being ostracized and cast out from your family and your friends kind of dominates what a lot of guys do. I wouldn't say it's easier, but I guess gay men actually have other gay men that they can interact with, they can talk to, who they can use as a mentor or get advice from. Whereas trans attracted men don't really talk. They don't really interact because a lot of them are, on the down low. It's something that they're not open and honest about. So having those open and honest relationships about the women that they choose to be with or they're with, it's very, very difficult. So it's a different dynamic on how to, or it being easier one way or the other. I think it's just different. Again, because there's no support group for trans attracted men, there's not a lot of talk. I know when I was first, for the lack of a better phrase, coming out, I didn't have anyone to go to, and I had really no one to talk to about it who I felt comfortable with at that time. As it all came out, I found that a lot of my fears were really just that. They were fears, and a lot of them were irrational. My parents, I got the best parents in the world. They backed me 1,000%. My little brother, big ups to you. He was always there for me to talk. I have a nephew who is like a son to me, and I even talked to my oldest son. So my family being open and honest and talking and not using that as something to hold against me or to judge me made it easier for me. I think I only have time for one more question. We will go with, are trans attracted men really repressed homosexuals? A lot of people think sex and sexuality are black and white. You're either straight or gay or you're bisexual, and there's nothing in between. A lot of people who have known the women that I've dated and been in long-term relationships with, who didn't know that they were trans, were always gaga, especially the guys. Oh my God, she's so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Man, oh man, you the man, this and that, the other thing. But societal conditioning makes a lot of people think that this sex and gender are strictly binary. They're strictly black and white. That's simply not true. There are intersex people, there are trans people, there are XXXY people. There's so many different variations of humanity. So to call trans women strictly men, number one, is pretty ignorant, because you don't know. And then using the Bible as your only resource because the Bible says something, you really have to prove to me that it says that in there. Definitely doesn't say. Jesus never said anything about it in the New Testament. So we'll leave it at that. So this is part 1. I will update on part 2 for the rest of the questions. Thank you very much.